look at prior administrations that have just heaped on regulations, too much power by private sector labor corporations, aka unions, which Mr. Fain runs, and taxes, regulation, and labor controls. I mean, those are problems. At the same time, I see it like this: if the president achieves free, fair, reciprocal trade and opens the foreign markets, he's not going to get 0% with every country. But if he can get a better trade deal on the threat of tariffs, and there's a short bit of pain, and I don't want to hear from the Democrats after 4 years of inflation, if we achieve better trade deals, then the threat of tariffs would be worth it.
I think that's exactly right, Andrew. And that's the calculus at work here, right? That is the high stakes poker game that the president is engaged in right now with world leaders. And judging by the number of countries that are coming to the table relatively quickly, I'd say the president is certainly winning that. And part of that probably has to do with the fact that so many nations know the president isn't bluffing. In other words, a nation like Canada knows, given the relative import and exports of each country and the relative size of each nation's economy, the ratios of exports to those overall economies, it's very clear that Canada cannot win a trade war with the U.S. Now, that's not to say the U.S. would win a trade war, quote unquote. There are no winners in trade wars. There are only losers, but not everyone has to lose the same. Canada would go into a very, very deep recession if they had an all-out trade war with us. And for the US, it would be like an economic speed bump. So if you're Canada, you don't want to go toe-to-toe. You don't want to try to call the president's bluff in that instance.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.